I mean, outside of your obvious influences. Outside the obvious. Because I'm hearing Badu, I'm hearing Lauryn Hill, you know, of course. I'm hearing these people, but all your other influences that people may not even believe that you were into.
Well, Jimi Hendrix, I'm sure people would believe that, but Jimi Hendrix is like one of my biggest influences. I think that it's very hard sometimes to like, I don't want to say hard, it's not very often that an album can like change your life, I feel like, but the Jimi Hendrix experience, when I heard that album, like, it changed my life. And so I feel like a lot of times my music, not even just my music, me as a person, I'm very, very inspired by Jimi Hendrix. I have like a shrine of Jimi Hendrix shit in my house. Like, I'm completely and utterly in love with this man. And his music is so inspiring to me. I think what it is, like, when you're talking about stage presence, that's really how he inspires me also, like his emotion on stage.
Again, you know, a little story about how hip-hop came in.
Alright, so yeah, since I was born in '88, and I think that I missed a lot of the really good hip-hop that maybe was current at the time, like on the radio, and by the time I was actually of age and started listening to music on the radio, the hip-hop was kind of like just completely degrading. Everything was the same beats, just like how you hear today. Everything is just like redone, you know what I mean? Different arrangement of the same shit, you know what I mean? I didn't like it, I didn't appreciate it, I didn't want to hear it. So I was never really a hip-hop fan. I think the first people that I ever like listened to that I liked was like the Roots, obviously, and that was completely by accident. I just fumbled onto that. It's like an iPod that my mom got me that was like already had music on it, you know what I mean? Then it was like a little bit of Mos Def, like a little bit of Tribe Called Quest, but I just listened to these things like sparingly, you know what I mean? Hip-hop was not something that was like a force in my life, you know what I mean? Because I only heard it was on the radio. I stopped listening to the radio at 16 because I couldn't stand that shit anymore. And I was already a singer. I listened to a lot of female singer-songwriters. That's what I was mostly into. And then in my teenage years, I got really into neo-soul music, and I was very much like, I'm listening to neo-soul, like that's my shit. One day, I turned on the radio by accident. I hear this Kid Push song, and I was completely in love. So now, I started listening to Lupe Fiasco. I got his album. The way that he inspired me was just a different type of writing that I had never done before. You know what I mean? Because it's different when you're writing a melody and a hook and a verse versus like writing rhymes. And he made me definitely write rhymes. And so I was like, well, I gotta learn to rap now because I'm writing rhymes. So that's basically how that happened.
Oh, that's incredible. I mean, well, you picked a great model, you know, someone to really look up to. I mean, because that's a lyrical dude. So.
I love it. He's fantastic. And so he kind of made me want to listen to more hip-hop, you know. And so now it's like there's certain people that I'm just like completely die hard for, like that I love. You know what I mean? But there's still hip-hop that I can't stand. I'm not going to be honest about it. Just like everybody else, you know, who likes some stuff, you don't like some stuff. And if you listen to the Zero Hour, you guys know how I feel about some of this crap on the radio. Yeah.
So, you know.
I have like a list of people I would assassinate when I have enough rap.
Okay.
Just kidding. Just kidding. I won't.
So where do you see yourself going after this album? I mean, you have a major tour set up, anything? To promote this release?
Who wants to book me on a major tour? I'm down. Whatever you want. Really what I want to do is next month I'm going to be doing a lot of videos. You know, for the singles. I'm going to be doing that with Mark and Seha from Noisemaker Media.
Oh, okay, yeah. He did a couple of videos with Sadat X and P-Rock. He did one of Fuel of Eternity is upcoming videos also. And I've seen some of his work. That's going to be excellent.
Yeah. He's terrific. So I'm going to be doing some videos with him. And then I kind of plan to like start going outside of New York and doing some shows because my entire roster of shows have only been in New York.
Wow.
I've done probably close to 30 shows. They've all been in New York.
Yeah, that's impressive. No, they need to see you.
You might need to go somewhere else and do a show.
No, they need to see you overseas. They need to see you in the South. They need to see you on the West Coast. Nashville.
I'm trying to go over to the West Coast maybe in May. Anybody has any any LA connects, hit me up, kalaeallday@gmail.com.
We're gonna do that. What's your next move after this project? You looking for more collaborations, or you gonna work on the next 2 albums? Do you have them like mapped out in your head, or you just taking it baby steps?
A little. I mean, I think as an artist, you just want to make music all the time, and so that's what I'm still making music. This is out, but I'm not, taking a break or nothing. Going back into the studio next week with Arsony. He's also a Harlem performer. He raps, he produces, he does everything.
He did a few tracks on this album.
Yes, he did. He did Intoxication Nation and Pro on the Run.
Right.
Arsony.
Yeah.
You can find him on Twitter at Arsony. And so, he's terrific. We're gonna do an EP. I'm gonna have a couple of EPs and a mixtape probably come out.
Okay.
I definitely want to have something that's gonna be free that I feel like give to everybody. I have my Live Soul album. It's for donation. I carry that with me all the time.
Okay.
But something else, it's online. It's not an online thing. And so online, you want to reach the masses. So I'm probably gonna put out a mixtape so that everybody can just have one. I love Brooklyn Bodega and you.
Yes.
You guys rock my socks.
Yes, they do. Well, hopefully they'll have you open up too. For this Brooklyn Hip Hop Festival. Are they talking to you?
No.
West, don't sleep. I know you're not.
Come on, West.
So, Kalae, she could be
Brooklyn Bodega Hip Hop Festival.
Right before the headliner. Right before the headliner too.
Yeah,
not early.
No,
not the first act. So don't have her warm up the audience. She gotta be like.
Because then all the performers after me. Let me stop.
Exactly. They don't want to go home. They don't want to go home. And I really appreciate your music.
Thank you.
I see a major future for you. Not a bright future. I see a major future. Absolutely. So I'm happy to be one of the first kind of, connect with you, bring you to the audience, bring you to my audience,
Yeah.
I think people, they should never sleep on artistry. Okay?
You see that?
Public education, public transition.
That artwork is done by Dario Sanchez Kennedy. Yeah.
All right.
Beautiful, isn't it?
Beautiful.
Photography by Leslie Van Stelton. It's beautiful.
No, you got the right team. You got the right team in place. You got any shout outs, any last words?
I love everybody.
African American, Black Negro.
Shouts to all of you.
There you go. Come support the album. Where can they reach you at again online?
They can go to kalaeallday.blogspot.com and just check out life and just look at me doing whatever it is that I do, live vicariously through me. You can get me on Twitter, Kalae All Day, Facebook. Definitely want to shout out Eternia and thank her for linking together.
Yes, thank you, E. We appreciate you. You know I'm serious. I love my, genuine artists, and this is a genuine artist.
Thank you.
Absolutely. Kalae, I appreciate you so much.
I appreciate you.
Thank you. And this is E-Day with All Day, Kalae All Day at the 0 hour. See you in a minute.